In this video, I'm going to show how to convert the equation of a line from slope-intercept form to standard form, and vice versa. Let's begin by looking at the different forms of our linear equation. The first form is what we call the slope-intercept form, and the format is y equals mx plus b, where m is your slope and b is your y-intercept. So as you can see in this slope-intercept form, your y is left alone in one side. Okay, so if your equation looks like this, you call it slope-intercept form. Now, there is another form of our linear equation, and we call it the standard form. All right, the standard form looks like this. So on your left side, you have the x term and the y term. All right, and on the right side, you have the c. The c, you call it a constant. Okay, it's just a constant. So if you see your linear equation in this format, you call it standard form. Now, when something is in a standard form, your a, b, and c, the numbers here must be integers. Okay, that means you should not see any fraction from here. And another additional information is for your a, first number here, it must be a positive number. So take note of that. That must be a positive number. If it's a negative, then we need to get rid of that negative. An example of a standard form looks like this. We have 2x plus 3y is equal to 4. That's in a standard form. Okay. Now, for this video, we should learn how to convert from the standard form to the slope-intercept form. Okay, but remember, if you are asked about the slope and y-intercept, you're only at this form, the slope-intercept form. In a standard form, there is no slope and y-intercept. That is why, if you are asked about the slope and y-intercept, and you're given with the standard form, you have to convert it first to slope-intercept form for you to get the slope and y-intercept. Okay, so let's do examples now. Our first example, so we have here y equals 4x minus 7. As you can see, this is in a slope-intercept form, and we will convert this to standard form, okay? Because this is slope-intercept form, so we have a slope and a y-intercept. Actually, the slope here is 4, and our y-intercept is negative 7, okay? Now, let's convert this to standard form. So, to convert to standard form, we just need to know that in a standard form, all the x and y is found on the left side. So as you can see, my x here is on the right side. I just need to move it to the other side, to the left side. Okay, so remember transpose, you move it to the other side, it becomes the opposite sign. So from positive 4x, it will become negative 4x. All right, and then the y is already in the left side, positive y, so just bring it down, plus y, okay, equals negative 7 is a constant, and the constant must stay in the left side, in the right side. So I'll just bring it down without changing the sign because it's already in the left side, right side. Okay, so I just moved 4x to the other side, and it becomes negative 4x. So as you can see, my x and y are already in the left side, so I'm good with it now. I'm now in standard form. However, some things that you need to know, in a standard form, the first number here is always a positive. So if it's a negative, just make sure to convert everything. I mean, to change all the sign to opposite. So this negative 4x becomes a positive 4x, positive y becomes a negative y, equals negative 7 becomes 7. So this is already the standard form. 4x minus y equals 7. Okay, this is our next example. So we have here another slope-intercept form, and we will convert this to standard form. So look at this. In the slope-intercept form, you have the slope, which is 3/2, and the y-intercept is negative 3. Mx plus b format. We'll convert it to standard form. Ax plus by equals c. So, but as you can see here, we have here a fraction. So the first thing that you have to do is to remove that fraction whenever you have fractions. And you can remove that fraction by multiplying the left side, close it with parentheses, and the right side with a specific number. And what will be that number? It's actually the number, the denominator of your fraction. So here, my denominator is 2, so I'm going to multiply the left side by 2, and then the right side by 2. Okay? And if you do that, on the left, you'll have 2 times y, which is 2y. Okay? And then on the right side, you will do the distributive property, distribution. So first, you will multiply 3/2 times 2. 3/2 times 2, it actually equals to 3. And then put the x. Okay? It will actually cancel out the 2. Okay? And then you have 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. All right? Don't forget to do the distribution. Again, 3 halves times 2 is equal to 3, which is 3x. We have an x there. And then negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. Now, I don't have any more a fraction. The next thing to do in a standard form, remember, all x and y is found on the left side. So I just need to move my 3x to the left side. So it will become now, from a positive, it will become a negative 3x. And then my 2y is already in the left side. And I'm not going to move it into other side. So just bring it down with the same sign. And then equals, the constant is already in the right side and it must stay there. So same sign, negative 6. And then remember, the first number must be a positive. If it's a negative, we need to flip everything. If it's already positive, then let it stay the same sign. So we need to flip here. So 3x from negative becomes positive. 2y becomes negative 2y equals negative 6 becomes a positive 6. Okay, so this is now our standard form. X and y on the left, the constant on the right. All right, our third example, as you can see, we have 10x minus 7y equals negative 8. And this is in a standard form, okay? And we will convert it to slope-intercept form. And once we're in a slope-intercept form, we can identify the slope and y-intercept. Okay, so take note, the slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. So the y variable must stay in the left side. So therefore, if y must stay here, so I'm going to move first my x to the right side. Okay, y must stay here. So if I'll begin by moving the x term to the right side. So therefore, on the left, I'll have negative 7y, it will stay there, equals negative 10x, move to the other side, becomes a negative 10x. Okay, and then my negative 8 is a constant and will stay in the right side. Okay, I just moved 10x to the other side. Now, take note, in a slope-intercept form, only the y must stay here. So therefore, I have to remove that negative 7, and you can do that by doing division. So we just divide everything by negative 7. Okay, so now, simplifying this, negative 7 will be crossed out, so you have y is equal to negative 10 divided by negative 7. You can use your decimals calculator. Lowest term is 10 over 7. X. It will give you 10 over 7. Just put it in your decimals. Negative 8 over negative 7, put it in your decimals. It's positive 8 over 7. Okay, so as you can see, this is already mx plus b format. Y equals mx plus b. And because this is mx plus b, I can now say that my slope is 10 over 7, and my y-intercept is 8 over 7. If you are asked about the slope and y-intercept. For our final example, we have here 3x minus y equals 9. It's again standard form. We'll convert it to slope-intercept form, and we'll identify the slope and y-intercept. Again, take note, in a standard form, you don't have the slope and the y-intercept yet. If you convert it to slope-intercept form, that's why the name is slope-intercept, you can have the slope and y-intercept. Okay, so again, this slope-intercept form has y left alone in the left side. So your 3x, your x term must be moved to the right side. If I move that to the right side, so on the left, you will only have negative y equals 3x will become a negative 3x. And then the 9, positive 9, will stay positive because you're not moving it. It's still in the right side. Okay, and now on the left side, you have the negative 1, invisible 1 here. So negative 1, you have to remove that negative 1 because you only want the y. So you can do that by dividing negative 1 to each number. Okay, so now if you divide negative 1, this negative will be removed. And so on the left, you have y equals. Simplify this with your decimals. Negative 3 divided by negative 1, that's a positive 3x. And then positive 9 divided by negative 1 is negative 9. So it's already mx plus b format, which we call the slope-intercept form. And so we now know what's the slope. The slope will be 3, and then your y-intercept is negative 9.